Alright, welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest and we're here today taking a look at this new scan tool I have. This video has kind of a couple of different purposes. I just want to kind of introduce everybody to this scan tool as well as get used to it a little bit myself, kind of with all of its different options and features. I'm also going to use this video as a reference because this scan tool is about to be featured in probably every other video or every other third, 2 out of 3 videos for the rest of the time I have this channel. This scan tool's high end. It's probably the one I'm going to have for a long time, and I don't always do the best job at showing the screen of the scan tool when I'm looking at stuff. If it's important, I'll always try and remember to show the camera what I'm looking at. In fact, I've recently got another GoPro so that you can see the screen a little bit better and what I'm doing, as well as this camera that's on the tripod here. I don't have to touch it. But I want, when I have a video and I'm just, kind of using the scan tool and you can't really see it and people are like, hey, let me see that scan tool a little bit better. Hopefully this video can be a bit of a reference, again, as well as I'm going to get used to it. I'm going to plug it into my wife's car here, which is a 99 Honda CR-V. Oddly enough, Honda put the OBD2 ports, the CAN bus ports, over here on the passenger side in the footwell, which is weird. So we'll pull this tool out and get this plugged in and get a look at it. This is the Launch X431. It's the 5-inch version on the tablet. They have a 10-inch version as well, but this is what it looks like, about that size. So it has the same program as the 10-inch version. It's just a little bit smaller. So that's nice. Comes in this nice case with all the OBD1 adapters, power adapters, everything you need for that. And I think if I'm not testing an OBD2 scanner for somebody in the future, for giveaways, this is going to be the one that I'm going to use. So I forgot to turn it off last time I was playing around with it. I'm going to try and remember to turn it off because it's on this tablet, but it comes with a charger and everything. I can plug it into a car or whatever if I'm working on it. So let me pull up the other GoPro and you'll be able to see what's going on here. All right, so here we have this plugged in. Keys in the on position. We'll go ahead and connect this here to my wife's car. There you can hear it connecting. It does have a little alarm on it here that'll let you know if you're leaving this behind, but since it is Bluetooth, that's important to remember that I don't leave my little people call them dongles. I don't call them that. I'll just call it the little connector. I'll leave that behind. All right, so here we have the first look when we're looking at the vehicle here. On newer vehicles, this is bi-directional. It can do a lot of stuff. Turning on individual sensors, turning them off, closing valves, like on that bus that I had, the Power Stroke, when we were testing the high pressure oil system for leaks. There was a valve that you could turn off, but I had to manually bypass that because I didn't have a bi-directional scan tool at the time. So this is just, up in my level of diagnosis. There's a lot more jobs I feel comfortable taking on nowadays. Things that I wouldn't have been comfortable doing in the past. Diagnosing things that I'm going to start doing a lot more of diagnosing here, and thanks to having a good scan tool like this. And I was able to make a deal with Launch here, and so if you use the code, you get 5% off of one of these. And check it out for yourself if you're looking for a nice high-end bi-directional scan tool. This, for the money that you pay, way better than other scan tools. So, all right, here we go. We'll look at the health report. No, let's not do that. Sure, let's do that. We'll do the health report first. All right, so the engine's not running. This gives you the instructions, everything you need to do. It's in park or neutral. So this is going to take a little bit. I'll check back in when it's done. Just another thing I was thinking about before I get to mention, this thing can program. I can program keys, different parts of the computer with this. It depends on the vehicle and its compatibility with being programmed, but I can really do everything on this. I mean, we're looking at transmissions. We can look at body control modules if a vehicle has them, everything. So super nice tool here. And we're just finishing up the scan. I wouldn't say finishing up. We're just starting the scan, so it's probably going to be a few minutes and I'll check back in. All right, I just went ahead and paused this because there's a lot of these systems that this car is not equipped with. So I just went ahead and paused it once we got past, we're looking at ABS, SRS, engine management system was normal, automatic transmission was normal. I think that's about all it has here. Anti-locking brake, that's new to me. So we're going to take a look at those. The SRS, I know about that. It's these restraints, these seatbelts still have to be rebuilt. But the driver's seatbelt works. Again, it just needs to be rebuilt. So still have to do that. There's like 2 more things I have to do from when I initially rebuilt this vehicle after the crash. And that was a whole little series, so you can check that out if you want to. That's this ABS though. This is new, so that's okay. Yeah, it's going to quit communication if we're driving. Well, we're not driving. So let's look at the fault codes first. Battery voltage failure, that's current, so maybe it's just because we're not driving. Maybe it's that same part of the sensor to the right, front wheel speed sensor failure. That makes sense. I didn't replace any wheel speed sensors, and that was the side that was affected during the crash. So that sensor's probably broken in there, and I just never knew that. We can look at the data stream here, though. Right front wheel speed. And I'm sure if we were moving, that would still say 0. I'm not going to move, but, you know, if that's how we can diagnose things like that. And that's how you can get these bidirectional scan tools are awesome. I can, you know, actuate all the different solenoids for the anti-locking brake system. You could hear it there. So, you know, those, you can do an audible test as well. You know, if you know one of them isn't working, or you know half of them aren't working, or any of them are working, or whatever, you can, you know, click them on and listen to them manually. We can do that with the engine, or let's do like transmission as well. We can look at transmission solenoids. So we'll go with the transmission. That's good. I didn't know that wheel speed sensor was missing, so or broken, so we'll get that replaced for my wife's car as well. That'll help with the anti-locking brake system, especially out here in the winter. They don't salt the roads that much. That's been a super common question recently. I don't know why, maybe because of the lack of rust, but when it snows out here, they kind of just let it, you know, people drive on it and let it melt like that. So that's important for the winter, whenever, you know, there's ice out here, that all these ABS modules are working correctly. It's like we're here looking the transmission. We can read it. There's no fault codes in the transmission right now, but we could do like let's do like a shift solenoid A. So it's going to say stop the vehicle, put it in park, and then we should be able to hear it. So I don't know if you can hear it. We'll see. Yeah, that was that solenoid clicking. So this bidirectional tool here, super awesome. You know, on different vehicles and stuff, I could say, hey, turn on this, turn off this, listen for them, make sure that they're communicating correctly with the computer. And that's what this looks like. This turns green when it's connected to the computer. You know, I can also check my email and stuff on this as well, browse the internet, take pictures, you know, look at, you know, information on the internet if I wanted to access repair information and stuff like that. So this scan tool is super awesome. I've got to have Wi-Fi, but I could tether it to my phone, you know, hotspot it. And so we're here. Let's go out, watch this. We'll end the session. And don't forget to remove that connector. So throw it okay there. I've got it here. We'll put it back. That's a look at the scan tool. It does all these different vehicles, does Chinese vehicles even. You can buy other types of ones, but this has all the European and American vehicles that we deal with here. All the information already ready to go on this for about 2 years. I think it has updates, and super awesome. So check it out. There's a link at the top of the description of this video. This is what I'm going to refer people to if you really just wanted a better look at And I forgot one more thing. Let's look at live data on this as we go here. But this is the video I'm going to refer people to when they're asking about the scan tool to get a better look at it. Again, sometimes I don't do the best at showing what I'm looking at during the videos, and I'm going to try and do better at that, especially now that I have 2 cameras. And we'll just look at some graphs here, the kind of graph that this can pull up on the live data, and see if that's pretty useful to us, which I believe it is. Yeah, on the engine here, we could do a few things bidirectionally here. Idle speed adjust, evap test. I did an evap test a minute ago, and you could hear the solenoids clicking as well. But let's read the data stream here. So let's just select everything. And let's turn this on. So you can see the AC clutch is off. That's stuff that, you know, I haven't seen on other scan tools. So there you can see the AC clutch is on. So we can do some AC diagnosing as well. Like, you know, if we have bad controls here, or, you know, if we have bad sensors. So that's super useful. That's turned off. Alternator control, we can see the voltage output, alternator load. Super awesome info here. Brake switch is off. There, it's on. Yeah, a few more things here. We've got some evap stuff. Again, on newer vehicles, sometimes they have 150 data points. This is an older vehicle, early in the days of OBD2, but still we could do bidirectional stuff, diagnosing this. And these are simpler too, so diagnosing them is quite a bit easier. But on newer vehicles, you know, this is going to be awesome to take a look at. And let's see, actually, here we can look at the alternator power load. Once we rev it up, it should drop down there like you see. Awesome. Yeah, so pretty good little graphs here. Let's see if we can select one. Yeah, there we can select one and look at it. So like we could look at things like O2 sensors and stuff, diagnose O2 sensors and catalytic converters by looking at the different graphs. Not super detailed. That's coming in really fast. The amount of data points that's getting on some cheaper OBD2 scanners that do live data and like minimal graphing, it, you know, the upload speed's really slow, so you don't get a good idea of what's going on in the graph. Here you can see all the different little undulations showing that it's really graphing that at a fast rate. And that's awesome. This is an awesome graph here. We go minimum max on there. We can, yeah, we can set parameters, so super cool. I'm not going to mess with parameters right now. And hopefully this gives you a better idea of what I'm going to be dealing with in the future, diagnosing, learning with this tool. Obviously I don't know everything yet, but you know, that's what we do. We just learn. So again, I'm a young mechanic. A lot of old people here on the channel always like, oh, you could have done this different, this different. I mean, sure, everybody could do something differently, but you know, this is, you know, one step into the future. You know, we're taking diagnosing to the next level, and every single day learning a little bit more. So check out the scan tool. I think you can get a bit of a discount on it if you see that link in the description down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next episode. And it's a busy week, so I may put out a few more videos this week, and then we'll have a lot to come after that, but I'm swamped for the rest of the week. So this is my last pretty slow afternoon. That's why we're out here learning a bit about this tool. But thanks for watching. Consider subscribing, and we'll see you on the next episode. Yeah, I mean, let's look at everything. Nice kit, OBD1 stuff. And then we got different adapters and stuff to read the output from those OBD1. I plugged it into my Ranger, but some of that OBD1 stuff really doesn't have much data to go for anyways. I did use OBD1 to diagnose a bad mass airflow sensor and something else when I first got the truck. So I know this can help me out in those sort of situations. And yeah, comes in a nice case. So